following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Standback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a training camp edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from Oxnard, California in the River Ridge Training Camp Complex, home to Training Camp 2025. We've got Tommy Yarrish, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez. I'm back, Kyle Youmans. Back in the driver's seat. That means we are so back.
You're so bad.
I can't wait. You guys did a great job last week. All the shows that you did throughout the week, whether it was Training Camp Live or Inside Cowboys Training Camp, but especially Talking Cowboys was on point, and I'm proud of you guys.
Thanks,
but
brother.
I will say,
you were missed.
It is so good to be back.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Shouts out to Josh Rodriguez. Absolutely
Yes, sir.
cooked up in KY's absence. You know, KY's in the building. It just feels right.
It feels right. It
just
feels much better with a
right.
Kyle Youmans leading the charge, doing his thing. We're glad to have you back.
You guys are making me feel good. You know, it was funny this morning. I woke up, walked into the hotel lobby, and ran into a gentleman named Freddie G. It's Fred G, but it was Freddie G is what I started calling him. And he said, I watch all your shows. You guys are like rock stars to me. He's like, I felt like I ran into a rock star this morning. He's like, I met Tommy Yarrish.
Hey,
this morning.
Fred.
He's not wrong. He did run into a rock star.
And he ran into a rock star.
Wonderful wife. Really appreciate y'all's support.
They were really cool. They were in the breakfast lobby this morning, and so they said hi. But, yeah, if you guys are out here and you're listening to Talking Cowboys and you're at training camp, don't be afraid to say hi. If you see us walking around, even on the sidelines, if you see us walking around in public, just say hi. We love seeing the fans out here. That's part of one of my favorite parts about training camp. But
you'll have to go through my bodyguard first before you can speak to me.
You get permission to him.
Yeah, we'll take it under advisement. We'll kind of search you, pat you down, and then you can come talk.
There's the wealth talking again.
The
Homer
promo
Simpson
code.
gift.
Just saying, you know.
Promo code is Talkin Josh.
Hey, look at that.
What is
Look at
that shade?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's got
This
the
is
bling.
from the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop here
Yeah.
in Oxnard, California.
He's got the
This is an
bling.
exclusive Training Camp 2025 iced out chain.
Can I get one of those?
No.
Oh.
I mean, in your tax bracket,
pay.
maybe. I don't know.
Trying to come around your city.
You
Guy's
know
got
why?
3 kids over here instead of a chain. I mean, come on.
You know
What are you
why? You know
Same
why?
the kids chains.
Yeah,
Same diff, right?
Same difference. You know why Josh has that chain?
Why is that?
He just got a new paycheck. You know why?
Ooh.
Because the Dallas Cowboys might be signing him to play corner at this point.
Oh, man.
I mean,
Wow.
all of us need to get ready at this point.
We haven't even had
Listen.
our 40 competition, but they know that the Josh is going to win
I
that one.
stay ready so I don't have to get ready. You know the routing number. Make the deposit.
What number do you want, Patrick?
Whatever number is free. Doesn't matter.
All right.
I like that 00, Rowdy. Let's talk.
And there's like 20, 22 is free, 12 is free, 8 is free. I don't think you're getting any of those.
You're not getting 8 or 12.
I mean, other than that, it's like 82. No, you're not getting that one. 74. No, not getting that
I'm
one.
telling you, I'll strike a deal with Rowdy.
Yeah,
I'll
get
bring that 00.
double zero.
I'll put that 00 on the field.
He's going to be
That's
the
gonna be
first
a hefty
3-digit jersey.
yeah. Now,
007.
I'm glad you brought that up because since the last recording of Talking Cowboys, there's a lot that's happened over the weekend. The
Quite
pads
busy.
have come on. A tight end got paid.
As always, that happens with Talkin' Cowboys. There's breaking news all surrounding us.
There's going to be
Probably
a
going to
talking.
happen again today.
I was about to say there's going to be a breaking news segment like
Probably
at
gonna happen
10:45
again
today Pacific
Yeah.
time. Like
Wink,
that's just
wink.
how it goes. But we also had a bit of a roller coaster, gentlemen. A bit of a roller coaster with the emotions, with the expectations of the season, with the expectations of a former first-round pick. Can I go through the timeline real quick?
Yeah, let's.
Let's
My
go through
blood
this
pressure
timeline.
isn't great to begin with, man. So you're doing this on top of all of that. It's not great.
Well, this will help you relive it. And for
Okay.
those that may have missed the roller coaster yesterday, here's how it started. Out here in practice, Tyler Guyton, second-year, first-round pick back in 2024's draft, and, of course, starting at the left tackle spot. He's having a great practice in what I thought was his best practice to this point.
agree.
Stonewalled Donovan Ezraku a couple times, was really solid with his feet, his footwork, his hands were looking powerful. I mean, all of it looked like it was coming together. Wasn't a perfect practice, but it was his best practice so far. Then at approximately 1:29 p.m. Pacific time, he goes down with an injury, got tangled up with Tyler Smith. Ezraku was kind of tangled up and was down on the field at 1:29. About 3 hours later, just under 3 hours later, at 4:21 Pacific time, Ian Rappaport from the NFL Network reports that it is feared to be a torn ACL for Tyler Guyton. Everyone starts to freak out. What do we do now? Do you bump Tyler Smith out to left tackle? Do you go try and re-sign Tyron Smith? What are the certain possibilities that are at hand? But either way, our former first-round pick has a torn ACL, and this is not good for our future of the offensive line. Then, less than about an hour later, to the rescue comes Todd Archer at ESPN at what is, let me see. Oh, my phone's closing on me,
It was like
guys.
50 minutes later.
Yeah, it was like
that.
not
49
much longer.
minutes.
5:09 p.m. Pacific time. Todd Archer reports that Tyler Guyton's ACL is intact after an MRI, and he has a bone fracture that will not require surgery, looking at a 4 to 6 week recovery, and that is where we stand.
Blessings.
It felt like all of Cowboys Nation took a sigh of relief that their left tackle not only is going to be available this year, but has a possibility, Tommy, as you wrote on DallasCowboys.com. Tyler Guyton has a chance to play week 1, and that is almost, it feels like a miracle.
Absolutely, and it's a sigh of relief is the perfect way to put it, because man, if Tyler Guyton is out for the whole year, that would have, you don't even need to say. We know how brutal that would have been, right? Just because obviously things didn't go his way last year. He's starting to show signs of progression this camp already, but now, he's still missing important reps, right? That's the tough part about this, is the optimistic view of things as Tyler Guyton is back week 1. But the bottom line is he's missing the rest of camp. And this camp was super important for him, and he needed these reps. He needed the time to gel in with everyone around him. He needed the time to get used to the physicality of things and get his body back in form for playing in season. And now, you're looking at a window where Guyton, if he's not ready by week 1, do you force him out there week 2? I don't think that the Cowboys should be in any rush to get Tyler Guyton back. If you want Tyler Guyton back, you make sure that he's fully healthy so that there's no chance of this happening again. You make sure that he's physically ready and capable of handling that workload, because they're going to have to play some really good edge rushers this year. Like week 2 against New York, you've got 3 guys who can get after the quarterback, and Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. And then throughout the rest of the season, you're going to see that all the time as well. So, the Bears the next week, they've got Montez Sweat. So it's going to be a tough challenge, and it's going to be a fine line the Cowboys have to walk. But at the end of the day, you are happy that it's not a season-ending injury, and you're happy that you can get Tyler Guyton back at some point this year. And week 1, if he's able to get back in time and he's able to recover that great, then even better, because that's a staple of the Cowboys' offensive line, not because he is played that way, but because he needs to be as a left tackle.
Listen, shouts out to Britt Brown and Jim Morrow for probably doing the Mr. Miyagi over the offended knee of Tyler Guyton, because,
Good job, boys.
Whatever might have happened, and I say that kind of jokingly now that we have an optimistic outlook for.
I did a rain dance at Southern Cal.
Right.
It didn't work.
But I tell you what, considering, and like you said, Nick Harris, he said this on Twitter, and it was very well put, as many torn ACLs as the Dallas Cowboys training staff has to unfortunately deal with on an annual basis, they're pretty good at being able to diagnose that pre-MRI. Okay, so they feared that it was torn based on their pre-MRI testing, but thankfully the MRI showed that it was still intact, his ACL is, and that saves the Cowboys in a lot of ways. Number one, they don't have to, and we don't have to entertain the conversation of potentially moving all-pro left guard Tyler Smith out to left tackle. Thankfully, let's keep that where it is in the grave for now. It also keeps the Cowboys from having to glance potentially at a free agency pool that looks very, very poor.
We were talking about that yesterday. It was rough.
It's rough. Tyron Smith is officially retired. Probably doesn't have any kind of inclination to come out of retirement So there's that. But then when you look at names like David Bakhtiari, Charles Leno, Donovan Smith, yes, those are NFL veterans with a lot of skins on the wall. However, Bakhtiari and Leno, neither of those guys took a single snap in 2024.
And some of those guys are also retired.
Not just that, but also major injury that they've dealt with recently, a hip injury, a foot injury here and there. The pool of free agency looks abysmal, for lack of a better way to put it. So that turns the Cowboys inward. Now, the good news is like you said and like Tommy wrote, Tyler Guyton could be back on the field as early as week 1 against the Eagles. If there is an abundance of caution, maybe week 2, home opener against the Giants. So now it's a much smaller issue. You're going to look at a guy like Hakeem Adeniji, who's having a strong camp. You're going to look at some of these other guys. You're going to give, what's his name, the rookie? What's his rookie?
Johnny Cornelius?
6th-round pick. Yeah, Cornelius,
Yeah.
who just sent a guy to hell yesterday, and I put that clip up on Twitter. So you're going to look at strong dude. You're going to look at some of these younger guys. You're going to give Matt Waletzko another chance to show that he can do something. Obviously, he battled shoulder injuries early in his career, but he's been healthy over the past year plus. So hopefully he can stay that way. Point being, now it's a situation where, yes, it's unfortunate that Tyler Guyton will miss valuable camp and preseason reps, much like last year when he dealt with some smaller injuries.
Yeah.
However, to know that he'll be back in time to play the majority, if not the entirety of the season, when the initial fear was that he'd be lost for not just this season, but then we're having the conversation, does he start next camp on the PUP list? You no longer have to have those concerns. And the young man, like Tommy said, he's making strides. We're all seated in camp. We're seeing his off-season changes in diet and his regimen change and his training with Tyron Smith. We're seeing that start to pay off. You hate that he's going to miss this time, but at least he'll be back.
Absolutely. Do you guys believe in miracles?
I do now.
Al
Yeah?
Michaels, baby. All
Well,
day.
to spell miracle, you need 3 letters, M, R, and I. And boys, the fact that we had people waiting on the MRI to officially report this news, I really do. I want to give kudos to those
Doesn't always turn into a miracle, though.
But I'm saying,
Oh my
you got to
God.
listen to me here.
The M, the aura, and the I.
The guys that actually waited to run the story. Of course, everyone wants to be first. They don't always need to be right. In this case, there are a lot of fans. There are a lot of fans out there that are expecting news to come from a trustworthy source. I think now, in today's age, it's hard to find those things.
Yeah.
Not for nothing, but DallasCowboys.com does an incredible job of giving you the correct news. It may not be the very first thing that you see, but it's always right.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to these guys here. If you're not following these guys, you're doing yourself a disservice when it comes to Cowboys news, Cowboys resources, because it's the best in the game. It seriously is.
Thank you. Really
Thank
quickly
you.
before I throw it back to you, Kyle, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention in this competition to figure out the left tackle situation, Awesome Richards. Awesome Richards is going to play into this in a big way as far as these camp
He may
reps
be
go.
your left
He
tackle to
might be.
start.
That's why I said I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Awesome Richards.
So I gotta let's do a little exercise here.
Oh,
all right.
gosh.
Let's say
Some more
I'm
MRI
out.
spellings?
No, I'm not
also
that
spell-
crazy.
Josh is like, I can do this all day.
Yeah,
You also can't spell misery without MRI either.
Okay.
That's what it would have been if MRI
Trying-
turned into a
negative.
Try and flip it to a
negative
different
Nancy
thing.
over here.
Well, it's
Jeez.
not. He was
Parade
fine.
meets
I know, I'm
rain.
saying.
He's still
equals Kyle.
injured.
So that's what I'm kind of go off here. Let's say Tyler Guyton's out for week 1 or week 2. What do you do? What do you do at left tackle? Do you move Tyler Smith
No.
back out there? Do you keep him inside?
Yes.
What do you do? Because here's the thing. Brian Schottenheimer said it over and over and over and over and over again.
That's fine.
The best 5 guys are going to be out there.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Smith is an all-pro guard. I think he's a good left tackle. And right now, if you have a good left tackle on this team and you don't feel like you've got that behind him, or you have a serviceable left tackle behind him, then, and bear with me here, Tyler Smith to left tackle. You move Tyler Booker to the left side where he played in college at Alabama. And then you put Brock Hoffman, who stepped in last year when Zach Martin was hurt at right guard. I don't think as a temporary solution, that is a problem.
It's
And
it's
here-
definitely not.
What
Go
would
ahead.
make things complicated, and I don't mean to cut you off, is Tyler Smith's contract situation.
Sure.
Because if he wants language in there about
Switching to
left
left tackle,
tackle,
that money's going to
because
go
then
up.
that money is going to change
Correct.
drastically.
Left tackle
So-
money is bigger money.
Much more than left guard money.
bigger money.
and I think he should be compensated accordingly. But as a temporary solution,
If this was a full season thing, I agree with you. Tyler Smith outside.
I'm with Kyle on
we've
this one.
figured out because we've got
One
a month
game?
left until the
No,
opening game.
no.
You've got an opportunity to practice him at that spot and be solidified up front. But we've seen what the roller coaster and the revolving door of an offensive line looks like at times, especially when it involves Tyler Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's an all-pro interior offensive lineman, and he's a good left tackle. You're right. And I think that would have been the full solution because you have more interior depth anyways. You've got guys like Hoffman and Bass and Jones when he comes back, hopefully, that you can kind of rely on, whereas your tackle depth, you don't have the same amount of confidence in it. I don't want to move my one solidified part of my offensive line for 1 or 2 games. If it's for the whole season and we can practice it and he can get the reps at left tackle, then fine. But I'm not going to sit here and move him back and forth for a game or two just to survive.
Does the
games.
opponent of week 1 change your mind?
No.
It should, but it doesn't because they're going to tear you up anyways. Because what about the confidence level of Tyler Smith? If you moved him out there for week 1 and he's only going to be there for a week or 2, and he gets absolutely annihilated as a tackle, and then you have to revolving door that, and you have to move that around. I would rather Tyler Smith be healthy and in the middle of the spot he's practiced throughout the last 2 or 3 years consistently, and keep him at left guard.
And if real quick, if you're wanting to look at week 1 and you plan around that opponent, then Tyler Smith needs to play left guard because you've got Jordan Davis
you gotta
and
play
Jalen Carter.
And that's my point. This is why the opponent being the Philadelphia Eagles doesn't change the fact that I agree with Kyle wholeheartedly here. When you're talking about moving Tyler Smith, you're talking about several things, right? Because it's going to cause a rift, a shockwave down the line. Like you said, now you're going to have to move Tyler Booker over to left guard. You're going to have to, bring Brock Hoffman up and move him, all those things. When in actuality, what I would prefer to do is keep the Tyler Booker, Cooper Beebe, and Tyler Smith trio in the middle for Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and have to deal with that front. And then I'm going to challenge Brian Schottenheimer to scheme accordingly, knowing that you might have a little bit of a weaker spot on your left tackle. Scheme for at least 1 week can probably help solve or at least soften that issue, right? So whatever the play calling needs to be, adjust that for week 1, knowing that you're a little bit more vulnerable on the left tackle spot than you had initially planned to be. And that, for me, would go a long way in giving me instant confidence in Brian Schottenheimer's ability to call and handle an entire playbook. So I would challenge Schottenheimer in that aspect.
Yeah, that could be as simple as having plays that roll out to the right side. I mean, it could be something like that where it's not only scheming for protection on the side, but rolling out.
Rolling out, unleash a couple of read options, keep them off balance, but you're really going to need to establish the run game, especially against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the better way to do that is to keep Tyler Smith right where he is.
Yeah, and I think I'm with you guys across the board. I think you keep Tyler Smith where he is. I just wanted to go through the thought exercise.
No, but I would argue that if we're talking best starting 5, and if this is something Brian Schottenheimer believes in, I think you're right on the money. I think that is your best starting 5 in the case that Tyler Guyton isn't ready to go, but it's how you arrange them, really.
Yeah, it's how you arrange them, and I think, making 1 move instead of 3, especially if it's only for a short time period, is what you need to do there. So you lean on Austin Richards and Hakeem Adeniji, who's had a good camp, and Nate Thomas, who Brian Schottenheimer's brought up more than once, unprompted. So I think they can figure it out there, and you can send a tight end to help, all kinds of things.
Left to right. Left tackle to right tackle, what's your starting offensive line look like week 1? Go.
Just a guess.
Week 1 without Guyton. Let's say it that way.
I think it's.
What would you do? Not a guess, but what would you do?
He just told us.
I'm going. I'm going Richards. I'm going Richards, Tyler Smith, Beebe, Booker, Steele.
Okay,
that's exactly my thought.
Exactly.
You would go there.
Yeah.
I would contend that Adeniji could play left tackle, but he hasn't played to the left side at any point in his career. So we would have to see it out here first. So I agree with you.
That's going to be a
put Richards there, but
yeah.
I bet you he gets and Adeniji, for those that watch the film throughout the weekends or throughout the week and they see it on the Twitter, he's 75. Keep that in mind. 75 is going to be at playing left tackle, I think, at some point over the next 3 weeks of camp. Yeah. And maybe in the preseason.
I agree.
It's going to be interesting to watch that battle for sure.
And while the whole scenario feels like we dodged a bullet and the Cowboys dodged a bullet, you look back at it and you say, man, our starting left tackle who missed time last year was graded as the 116th out of 141 offensive tackles in football, according to PFF. and a guy that dealt with ankle, neck, and shoulder injuries last year is not at camp. I think if this news would have hit initially, it would have been a lot more devastating than if it came after the initial report of season ending.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 to 6 weeks for a guy that needed camp is still a long time to be out, but we are happy he's going to be back.
Regardless, you're happy he's going to be back, because if it would be much worse if it was the opposite.
No doubt. All right, when we come back here on Talking Cowboys, some guys got paid, or one guy got paid, but could it lead to other guys getting paid? We're going to talk about Jake Ferguson's new $52 million deal. How does that trickle effect down the tight end room, and how does it possibly start the domino effect of contract situations here in Oxnard? More Talking Cowboys right after this.
AT&T has a new guarantee, because most things in life are not guaranteed, like getting through self-checkout by yourself.
Warning, each item must be placed in the bagging area.
Not guaranteed.
Place item in the bagging area. Place item in the bagging area.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve. Or we make it right. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. Need a little extra coffee this week. You need the caffeine to cover this team throughout.
Dude.
I don't have any BRCC out here. I talked to our rep the other day. I was like, can we get like a case of this for everyone? Because we need it. It's training camp.
maybe
for
two.
sure.
I think we may have something at some point.
Is a major one.
Something at some point.
Something brewing?
Yeah.
Because it's coffee?
You're on fire today.
Sir.
Let's go.
Dude, the MRI
I still haven't
thing-
recovered from the MRI.
That's going to be the best one.
The MRI
Can't
thing
spell
was
miracle without
horrendous.
MRI.
By the way, if you're new to the show, we do a YouTube comment of the day just to have a little fun for those. And it's got to be witty. It's got to be encouraging. It's got to be something that'll make us chuckle. You know, it could be something funny as long as it's clean, I guess.
Yeah.
In the YouTube comments. And the first one that I saw today is going to be our YouTube comment of the day. When I opened up my laptop and I opened up YouTube, Noah said, "Hey fellas, when are Tommy and Patrick squaring off in the 40, or did it already happen?" No, it did not happen.
Yeah.
It did.
We were waiting for you to get here.
We
Okay.
we
Well, I'm
really
here.
we actually were.
Yeah.
I know, but now I'm here.
You are here.
When are we doing
it's
this?
It's actually on time. It's whatever. I'm ready whenever.
I mean,
You're
we-
the challenger. So
No,
Go right now. Go.
I'll go right now. We can do it. Right
If
now.
we had a mobile
just
camera,
one.
I would
Yeah.
do
See?
that.
Did you catch it?
Work on it.
Barry Allen. Did you catch it? Done. One. No, seriously.
So-
Whenever.
Okay, so whenever
I stay
is
ready.
good. You want to try and do it like next Monday?
Sure.
Well, we've got a show Monday.
We got a show Monday.
You want to do it this weekend? When's the off day this weekend?
Wow.
Sunday.
I don't
Sunday.
remember.
Sunday's the 3rd.
Maybe that's the day.
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday's the day.
Or do we want to do it in front of fans?
Man, we can do it. No fans,
Anytime.
in front of fans. We could do it in
Anytime,
church
any
service.
place.
It doesn't matter to me. It's going to be the same result either way. because you're gonna need
church.
Because you're
I
gonna
want
need
Isaiah to be here
assistance.
for it.
Yeah, me too.
will.
He's
Just remember
Wednesday.
that I was minding my own business, and this young man called me out. So whatever happens now is whatever happens.
How about after practice Wednesday?
I will.
Okay.
I will.
You would get it out of the way.
Well, I want
I like
Isaiah
it.
to be here.
Well, no, not after practice. The reason I say that is because we have content to create after practice. I mean, we have
right.
Something about jobs.
You know it. As the webmaster, you know we have articles to
He's
write.
dodging already.
Tommy's like, I can
articles to
take
write.
a.
Listen,
It's
okay.
running a job. Going through
Let's just
I started just advocating for DallasCowboys.com. I'm like,
Let's do
yeah,
it
we got
between
work to
reps
do.
in Wednesday's
All
practice.
right.
Let's just have Schottenheimer
Get out
and
there.
Eberflus just push everybody to the side. Let's just do
let's
it.
not do that.
Floyd said he's smoking everybody up there. I don't know who
Yeah.
Floyd,
It is California.
that smells like a pull-up, right? So come on, pull up.
You can get in the mix too if you want to.
Anybody can get it.
I'm spectating.
Anybody can get it.
I'm reserving all my trash talk for after.
Oh, now he's reserving the trash talk for
I've
after.
said
The change in tone.
I have said everything.
The change
I
in
have said
tone.
everything that's needed to be said.
Hey.
I'm gonna smoke you, and I'm gonna win, and it's
What's
gonna be easy.
crazy is
And
This is
that's-
the wrong
you
show
said-
for that, my friend,
he
because
started-
here on Talking Cowboys,
Say it with your
you
chest.
say it with your chest.
I've
Say it
said
with your chest.
everything that I've needed to say with my chest.
I have the receipts.
I will now reserve
and I will be dropping
all
those
comments.
receipts afterwards. Now he wants to play the cool and the humble guy. I don't want to hear that because I was minding my business. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Just leave me be. But now that you've placed your order, when it comes from the kitchen, you don't get to send it back. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you got. Well, you know what we don't have to send back to the kitchen because you got a contract. He's sticking around for a little bit.
A little bit.
Sticking around for 4 more years. A little contract extension for Jake Ferguson. $52 million, 30 of that guaranteed. Well deserved by Jake just because of what he's meant to really the core of this offense. Even though he had a down year last year, and I know he's faced some significant criticism from that, I've been very vocal on here to where I think that was a fluke. I think that was something that just didn't work out last year. One, because you didn't have your starting quarterback after the Atlanta game, and two, because he had dealt with the injuries all the way up until it seemed like the Atlanta game. I think Jake Ferguson is a solid piece to continue to build around on this offense. Josh, I'll start with you. What do you think about the $52 million extension? Do you feel like it came at the right time? And what does it do for Jake Ferguson's role in this offense?
Well, I couldn't be happier for Jake Ferguson, first off. Second off, the fact that they're getting it done early, this is something that the fans have been advocating for a long time. And I'm sure the front office wants to do that all the time. It's like, let's get ahead of this. Coming off of his statistically worst season, he didn't have a touchdown last season. And granted, it's for a lot of reasons, but he didn't give any excuses for it either. He just said he needed to be better. And he said that coming off of last season to prepare the same way going into last season for this season would be the definition of insanity. He wants different results than he had last season. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but in terms of getting the deal done, you love to see that. You love to see how that might impact getting more deals done as we get through the rest of camp. Let's get one more today, one more tomorrow, one more, let's just keep going down and keeping the guys that matter. This is a guy that is staying for all the right reasons, and the fact that they got that Linda Wells is back with the Cowboys on the coaching staff, I think was very indicative from the beginning that we're going to have Jake Ferguson around for a minute, not only for his role and his relationship with Dak Prescott, but now you keep Linda Wells, and that is all more telling to how he's going to contribute to the offense.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect storm for Jake Ferguson to have a bounce-back season. As long as Dak Prescott can remain healthy and the Cowboys' offensive line can keep him upright, I think that Jake Ferguson is set to potentially have another Pro Bowl season. And here's why I say that. When you look at the weapons that were present when he had his Pro Bowl season 2 years ago versus the fact that now you have a George Pickens on the roster to tandem with CeeDee Lamb. And then again, assuming that Dak Prescott plays the entire season, offensive line comes together, you can't defend everybody. You simply can't. And Jake Ferguson's style of play, attacking the seam, getting yards after the catch, his aggressive dog mentality. He's one of the enforcers on the offensive side of the ball.
He's a big biscuit.
He is a big biscuit. Per him, he is a big biscuit. Big biscuit was in the air a few times. Might see him in the air again this season. I think that it's easy and it's justifiable for fans to wonder about the timing coming off of the worst year that he's seen as a pro. But again, if you look at what he's done prior and then you look at what he did at the collegiate level, that was a complete aberration. He could not find chemistry with Cooper Rush. He battled the concussion. He battled the knee sprain. He's healthy now. He looks good. He's moving well. So I think that he's earned the money, and one of the reasons that he was awarded that is because he didn't set the market. Right, he is mathematically the highest paid tight end in franchise history, but he didn't set the market. Okay, but all things being told, he's the definitive leader of that tight ends room. He and Lunda Wells, their relationship, I reported on that on DallasCowboys.com. Had an exclusive Q&A with Lunda Wells. He couldn't be more thrilled that Jake is returned. Jake could not have been more thrilled that Lunda Wells chose to return this offseason. Now they're going to be together for hopefully years to come, and that makes a lot of sense as far as the productivity goes, because consistency, it's really just hard to beat that with continuity.
And you're talking about a guy that big dogs Jamal Adams in Seattle. I mean, come on.
You love to see it.
You love to see that. And that's a guy that you want on your team. For a team that was lacking dogs, arguably, over the last couple of seasons, you want to keep guys like that around.
That might be my favorite play-by-play call, just from like a fan standpoint I've ever made, because that was the game I filled in for Brad. And
he brings it up all the time. It's all right.
Well, no, it's every day. It's because it was awesome. It made Talkin Cowboys come out in me, because I was like, that play was so badass.
Yeah.
That it made the Talkin Cowboys element pop out in the play-by-play call.
TC Kyle.
And if you go back and listen to it, it's like Fergie goes up to get it. Jamal Adams was over the top, but it doesn't matter. And I had that in the call, and I was like, this is awesome. Like the play that he made was incredible, and he went up and grabbed it over the top of him, and just like you said, big dog the dude.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the thing is, for fans that are complaining or criticizing the lawnmower behind us,
keep up the good work, man.
For those that are criticizing this deal and the way when it got done, and this is where you want it to get done. If you're a fan of the Cowboys in the front office, it comes after a down year, so the contract's cheaper than what it could be at the end of an incredible year. Also, not to mention, if you get any ounce of 2023 Jake Ferguson, then you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
this contract's going to be well worth it. You go back and you look at he had 790 yards back in 2023. That was behind guys like George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Evan Ingram, T.J. Hawkinson, Sam Laporta, David Njoku, Trey McBride.
It's good company.
That's it.
It's good company.
That's it. He's above every other tight end in the NFL.
It's good company
in 2023. So if he can get back to that, and that's not saying he's the best tight end in the NFL, that's saying he needs to be in that same category as some of those other guys. If he's in that category, I think this is a deal well done.
And I'll say this really quickly before you tap in, Tommy. When it comes to your initial question, Kyle, who might that now open the door for? What I've learned in covering the Cowboys, particularly as far as their training camp negotiations, sometimes it only takes one deal to break the dam for the next 2 or 3 deals to land. We saw that not so long ago when it was Trayvon Diggs, Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson. Okay, that could very well be a situation here this time around. Now, hopefully that will involve Micah, but that's a much different conversation as far as the size of that particular deal. But I could very well see maybe a Deron Bland negotiation going well for them following this Jake Ferguson negotiation. We'll see if Tyler Smith's negotiation, because his agent was on the field talking to the executives yesterday, so those talks are in play as well. So again, I'll say, normally it only takes one contract to land, and then you will see 2 or 3 others kind of land in a domino effect.
Yeah, I think you guys hit the nail on the head in terms of Ferguson and what that means. I don't even think he needs to have a 2023-esque season. I just think he needs to be a reliable safety blanket for Dak Prescott. And if he does that at a consistent level, then he's going to be just fine, have a good year, and the Cowboys' offense is going to be better for it. I do like the point you made about does this open the door for more negotiations? Because when we were talking to Stephen Jones the other day, that was asked. He said, somebody asked, I think it was Todd Archer asked him, coaches say the turnovers come in bunches. Can deals come in bunches? He said, sure. It takes 2, though.
Yeah.
It takes 2, and that's what this front office has said from the jump with everybody that they've been a part with. Obviously Micah Parsons is the big one right now that everybody's looking at, and the front office has been adamant about that it takes 2 to tango there. But I was on the Fan this morning, and they asked me a good question. It was like, DaRon Bland, Micah Parsons, Tyler Smith. In what order do you think they sign? And I'm curious as to y'all's thoughts on this as well. I said Smith, Parsons, Bland.
I'm going to go, well, initially when camp started, and I said this on Camping Out, I said I believe that DaRon Bland will be the first one to jump out. Happy to say I was wrong, especially considering who got the deal done first, Jake Ferguson, big fan of Ferg. I still want to go with DaRon Bland next, hearing some whispers that things are moving positively with Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
So I'm going to agree with Tommy here. I'm going to say I think because I'm hearing whispers that things are moving positively, I'm going to say Smith, Bland, Micah.
Okay.
I think Micah bookends it. I think he's the biggest. Obviously, he's the biggest splash, but I think his is what kind of sets the tone for the season.
It's interesting because they all have different situations.
Yes, very.
Between the three specific players.
And did another guard get
quickly.
paid this morning or yesterday morning?
I wouldn't know about that one.
It was a tackle.
It was a tackle. Okay.
Blanking on his name. Chargers,
right?
Oh, yeah,
Northwestern.
Rashawn Slater.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
So another offensive line.
I was about to say, I was like, I didn't see a guard, but you keep up.
But
with
guys
it
are getting paid.
Yeah, Slater got paid. That was a big one. But when you look at the three situations, Tyler Smith, Micah Parsons, DaRon Bland out of all three of those guys has the biggest chip on his shoulder to either have an incredible season out here and try and cash in on it and bet on himself, or to get a deal done now where his stock is still very high. Because there's a lot of pressure on him, not by fault of his own, but by the fault of missing some games last year and the fault of guys around him not being healthy, Trayvon Diggs, Savone Revel, guys like that he's going to have to rely on outside of him. He's going to be tested against the number one receivers. At this point in time,
Absolutely.
He will face teams number ones. That's just where we are as a ball club. So if the cornerback position stays as light as he does, DaRon Bland may want to try and get this done now, because if he has a down year, his contract worth isn't going to be there as much. Now, the team may not want to echo that sentiment, whereas Tyler Smith, he could play out this year. He could take as long as he wants because he has played at a high level, and he can kind of sit back on that. Same thing that Micah did last year, going into last year, and then Micah, of course, is where he is now. So it really all kind of pieces together differently. But if I wouldn't have heard the Tyler Smith whispers as well, like, I would probably say Bland gets it done because he's got the encouragement, he's got the reason to go and get it done now.
Well, if you think of DaRon Bland not also being here the past few days to welcome his child into the world, I think that's a big part of like why maybe those whispers have kind of quieted. He obviously has had some family stuff that he needs to deal with.
Point.
At this point, I would probably say Tyler Smith first, then DaRon Bland, and then Micah. It's going to be one of those. I don't know anything. I feel it would be one of those things similar to Dak whenever he got his deal done right before week one. Like I think it was the morning of that game.
Yeah.
So that to me kind of feels indicative. But you're talking about DaRon Bland, who wants to get his deal done, and Shoddy's talked about how versatile he's going to be out here and seeing him on the field this year. I mean, he's not just going to play that outside spot, which is what we're kind of accustomed to from him. I think his versatility is going to help him ultimately because this coaching staff wants him here. I want him here. The fans want him here because of that incredible season that he had. Hopefully he's able to build on it and not say it was a fluke.
I think it's everything that Josh, Tommy, and Kyle have all said collectively about DaRon Bland, and I'm going to add this because we're speaking about how he and his family were blessed enough to welcome a child to the family. I'm going to speak on this as a father. Okay, so as a father, if you look at it from that angle, I could see DaRon Bland wanting to lock up job security. I could see him wanting to make sure that he and his family is completely set, especially with a newborn looking him in the eyes. And I asked him about it yesterday, like, does this add, not does it, but how does it add added motivation as far as now that you're a father and whatnot? And he said, knowing that you have to set the tone and you have to be the role model and you have to set the example. I hear that father energy coming from him now. So not only is he looking to have a strong season, but you mentioned something, Kyle, that the front office has to want to do it as well. Here's why I think they should want to do it for everything that Josh said. Trayvon Diggs is on PUP right now. Savone Revel is on NFI. You just lost Kalen Carson for 4 to 6 weeks. And then that's him trying to work back from a season-ending shoulder injury last season. Right now you have Kyer Elam standing out. Okay, and Andrew Booth left practice. That's TBD. What's the situation there? And he just had one of his best practices, right? You signed Christian Matthew, who's reuniting with Matt Eberflus from their short time in Chicago together. But you have so many question marks to answer at cornerback right now. Which question mark do you not have present? It's DaRon Bland. The only question mark you have for DaRon Bland is, can you get back to first-team All-Pro status? But as far as the foot injury being anomalous to his durability, he's your versatile guy. You're trying to figure out multiple positions. He's your durable guy. He's your all-pro that's present and accounted for right now. I think the front office wants to get the deal done. I think DaRon Bland wants to get the deal done. I think now that he's back in the building, can grease the wheels a little bit.
Maybe can get things going there. It's going to be interesting because he could also be one guy that the Cowboys want to let play out throughout the season.
That's what I think they do.
And see what happens. I would
That's what I
be
think
shocked
they
if
do.
they get down to it. Because then we got to go to break here, but then it comes down to him or George Pickens too.
Yeah.
Because George Pickens is going to be a big contract at the end of the year that will be played out.
Don't get me started on the salary cap. You've got space.
You can make space. You can make it happen, but at the same time, there's going to be another contract that's about to hit, and you're going to have 3 of the highest paid players in the NFL on your roster at the same time. There are ways to finagle the cap.
And the cap will go up.
But when you are but I don't know if it's going up that much. All right, when we come back on Talking Cowboys, we wrap things up with some defensive dominance. We've seen some good things out of the defense over the last couple days. Let's talk about it. One of those might be that corner that you mentioned in Kaiir Elam. How big could he be for this Cowboys team in 2025? More Talking Cowboys right after this.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag & Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag & Turf, the official Ag & Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner. With over $9 billion in business loans and more than 140 business specialists right here in North Texas, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed, like getting through self-checkout by yourself.
Warning, each item must be placed in the bagging area.
Not guaranteed.
Place item in the bagging area. Place item in the bagging area.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve. Or we make it right. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back alongside Tommy Yarrish, Patrik "No C" Walker, Josh Rodriguez down at the end. I'm Kyle Youmans with Chris Beam in the front this time here in training camp, doing a great job of setting it up every single day so we can bring these podcasts to you live.
I like
from
Beam
Oxnard.
in the front.
It's nice.
I do too.
It's nice to look at it. It's like we have an audience.
For real.
Beam, I'll take it in the front any day.
Beam and then
And the back too. I mean,
200 or
he's
300
just as good in the
fans
back.
that are
He's
here
just as good as
watching.
back.
You know, I wish we had a live audience. That'd be fun. I know Nick Eatman's trying to find something like that happening through Storyline very soon. But
I think Beam might kick us off the air.
yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, Beam, we love you.
Nothing
man.
at all.
Love you and all your hard work out here. You do a great job.
They like you when you're behind the beam.
All right, let's get into the defense. At times, it feels like the defense has been behind the offense. But I think right now you could say the defense is in front of the offense. And the way that they've kind of worked their way into this turnover-heavy, run to the football sort of Matt Eberflus mentality. I mean, it's been fun to watch out here in practice. Patrik, I'll start with you. What have been your initial reactions on the defense?
Well, I think the defense is doing exactly what they're setting out to do. We saw and heard Brian Schottenheimer said that he expects this Cowboys defense to be one of the best in the league when it comes to taking the ball away, and they're doing exactly that. Seems like they do it every day, and actually it's not that it seems like they're doing it every day. They actually do it.
They have done it.
They actually do it every day. And on top of that, now that the pads are on, I mean, you're seeing guys really fly around. Malik Hooker had the best day of his camp so far, and you could argue that his intensity spilled over just a little bit because Brian Schottenheimer said that he's seeing too many guys on the ground. Apparently, Malik Hooker did not get that memo because he was, in fact, putting some guys on the ground. But
couldn't help himself.
He couldn't help himself. He's playing. Yesterday, he was practicing like his hair was on fire. And
Cropper stopped to pick up his footing. He slipped on a screen. He looked up and Malik Hooker just ran over.
Wakey. But that's that's the level of intensity. You got guys
Hooker
like Sam
had a
Williams.
chance to break down and veer off, and he did not.
Why do that when you can just wake a guy up? Okay, Hooker's playing to that level or practicing to that level. Sam Williams, he's champing at the bit to the point where he's barking in meetings. You know what I mean? So whether it be those guys or some of the other guys,
what do you think his bark sounded like?
I'm going to go with. I figure it had some bass. I feel like it was more Rottweiler-ish.
Give me your best impression is what I'm trying to get to. There it is. Okay. Josh?
I've got good practice doing that.
Yeah,
and why is that, Tommy? Why do I have good practice doing that? Because go Dogs. That's why.
What is your best impression, Josh? What do you think it was? That's what Sam Williams
Sam
sounds
Williams?
like?
Maybe. You never know. I'm not going to judge.
Tommy, would you like to chime in?
Woof.
Oh, woof. That's exactly my thought on your impression.
Yeah.
Woof. Let's get a little mic out again. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
something
some
like that.
bass. You got
bass.
You got to bring it from the chest, from the inside, from the innards. But the defense is flying around. You know, even though they're supposed to be in thudding only, they're putting guys on the ground. They're intercepting the ball. They're challenging the offense to take the next steps. And this ultimately should be an iron sharpens iron situation before it's all said and done.
First thing I'm seeing when it comes to the defense, I was very concerned after losing Al Harris last offseason. To me, I don't think the secondary has taken a step back because David Overstreet has done an amazing job with the secondary so far. And just seeing their bond grow as we get
His energy is crazy.
His energy, but the bond between the secondary so far has been apparent. You see them picking the ball off like crazy. You see them celebrating. You see them encouraging each other. That's exactly what you want to see. Obviously, we're here at training camp. It all depends. And I talked about it, what was it, last episode we recorded on Thursday, where it's like, does this concern you? Yeah. How much the defense is taking the ball away? But I just think it's all encompassing of how the team is reacting, and like they're scoring practice. The coaching staff is scoring practice. I think that's I haven't heard of that before. To me, it just sounds like they have the right mentality going into it. I have questions on other sides of the defense, but at least the secondary currently is shining.
Really quickly, more so safeties, or are you talking corner rotation too?
Corner safeties. Malik Hooker is a standout.
Malik has played really well.
So has Wanye is another standout
if he's on the field, and
that's my thing. That's the fun problem that you have. That's the fun problem
when they're on the field. Are they going to be fine? Are they good? But they haven't been on the field a whole lot. I mean, the secondary, I agree with you, is when they're out there. Give a lot of credit to this coaching staff for what they've done with Kyer Elam. Kyer Elam,
wow,
might be the biggest pickup of the offseason, and we haven't even played a game yet.
Yeah.
He may be the biggest acquisition this offseason, not counting the NFL draft, but that they've made from a trade or a signing or whatever.
It wasn't making moves when that move was made. And when that trade was made, it was kind of like
he could be a starter even after everybody comes back.
Absolutely.
He can find his way into a rotation. If Kyer Elam plays like this and he's your fourth corner, what are you talking about? That would be
what are we doing?
We would feel much better about this group as a whole.
It also,
if they came back.
It also bears mentioning that in the Dan Quinn era, we know that Dan Quinn was responsible for this Cowboys defense, leading the league in takeaways. 2 training camps ago, they were taking the ball away just like they are right now. And 2 years ago, Dak Prescott went on to become NFL MVP runner-up.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put too much stock in the fact that the Cowboys defense is taking the ball away as it relates to, I'm concerned that the offense is not. Give them time to gel. They'll be fine. I want to see the defense doing exactly what it's doing right now.
And you want to see a good balance, right? I think it's always good to have balance between the two because you don't want one side just dominating the other all the time, because then that tells you that one side isn't as strong as the other.
Right. That was exactly how I felt last year when I was like, this defense looks good, man. And then it was that constantly all of last camp, and I was like, man, this defense is something. And it was more so indicative of how the offense was going to operate and how kind of just not gelling they were. Just they didn't have the juice really last year, especially in terms of like running back. But I think what you're saying, balance is key here.
And I'll say this, with Matt Eberflus's defense, you're more than likely going to get two things. You're going to stop the run, you're going to turn the ball over, and one thing I think he's getting this year that he didn't get as much in Chicago is these guys are going to get after the quarterback.
Oh, yes,
these guys are going to get after the quarterback. Dak Prescott has been in the trenches sometimes in these practices because he just doesn't have the time to throw. The pocket collapses on him so fast, and it's because the Cowboys defense has a plethora of edge rushers that can get home and can get to the quarterback, which is something that Matt Eberflus just didn't have in Chicago, and now he does.
I think when you look at this defense and this competition that they're having with the offense, like you said, I haven't heard of it scored as diligently, but people kind of keep track of it, and that's kind of where it is. But, I mean, to your point, Brian Schottenheimer's like, yeah, the defense won this drill, the offense won this drill, the defense won this drill, and then we went to a tiebreaker that included props in the pads early on just to break the tie for the day so the defense or offense, whatever it was, won the day. So all of that plays into that competition element every day. The fact that it is as even as it has been, and it is a back and forth, that's exactly what you want to see. And that plays to what Tommy was just talking about. You have to see consistency, because if the offense is dominating on one end, and I think they have at certain points of this camp, but then the defense has answered back, and then it's been back and forth from there. And so I thought yesterday, the offense looked better. I would have said the offense
the deep ball
arrived
yesterday.
Passing game looked cleaner, even though Schottenheimer said that they won Saturday's practice. I thought Saturday was a lot of run game, a lot of ground stuff, and the passing game was very shaky. Going back and watching yesterday, it looked like they found some rhythm on the offensive side in the passing game. And if you can continue to have that back and forth, I think this is going to be a really productive game.
Rooted in the offensive line starting to come together. So that's why it would have been that much more devastating if you lose Tyler Guyton for the season, because Guyton had another strong practice yesterday, as you alluded to, especially against Ezraku. And we can't stress this enough. Although Ezraku is a rookie, and this is not the hype machine, because I don't do the hype machine, but based upon what I'm seeing and also what coaches are saying, and I posted on Twitter yesterday, you can't unsee what he's doing. Look at Odighizua's face when I asked him what impresses him most about Ezraku. Just go look at his facial expression, because that'll tell more than the actual quote itself. There's an elation that kind of washed over his face, like, ooh, this kid. When you get a guy of that caliber, Osa, having that kind of reaction, talking about a rookie, and then on the flip side, you see Tyler Guyton being able, at least 50% of the time, more often than 50% of the time, winning those reps. Guyton is on the right path. So the offensive line is gelling. You hate that Guyton's going to miss the entirety of the preseason and the rest of training camp, but hopefully when he comes back, he can pick right back up where he's leaving off.
And he had some ups and downs. He had some good things that he did. He had some bad things that he did. And there was a lot of hype around him. I think a lot of it was hope instead of hype.
Right.
And the hype started for me yesterday before the injury. And so that was when he went down, it was really it was a devastating one. Best wishes to Tyler and all the other guys. I mean, there have been a long list of injuries already.
Yeah.
Some of them more severe than others. But hopefully we'll get those guys back.
Hey, Richards,
pretty quick.
Show me you're awesome.
It's going to be a big one for Awesome Richards over the next couple weeks. All right. We will be back on Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central Time on DallasCowboys.com. More Talking Cowboys. And then we go Monday, Wednesday next week to continue into Cowboys Training Camp 2025. For Tommy Yarrish, Patrik Walker, for Josh Rodriguez, and Chris Beam in the front, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Oxnard, California. We'll see you on Thursday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!